Let me just first begin by saying that this is not a rerun of the videos I did before the 2008 election or the 2016 election. Seems that every 4 years I have to do a video on the subject of will Hillary run. This is actually a new original video being crafted today to give you the current view of whether she'll run in 2020. The answer is yes. If Hillary has a pulse, she's going to run. If you want to know whether she'll run or not, do not consult the public opinion polls. Consult the actuarial tables. And if her health is good enough and she's still alive, she's going to run. Why? Well, Hillary's originally was motivated very much by ambition through Bill and then apart from Bill. But after a while, the ambition morphed into a lifestyle, into a mode of living. And she is literally incapable of organizing her life, getting out of bed in the morning, and functioning without the framework of a political campaign. Everything is an event for her. Everything is scheduled. And everything requires an organizing principle, which is always ambition to be president. And there is no default position. There's nothing that she'll do when she retires. When she retires, she'll kick back and run for office again. She requires that to mobilize herself, to get her functioning, literally, to have her pulse working. Now, the more significant question is, will she win? Will she be able to be a formidable candidate? I think her donors are largely exhausted. The means of bribing them, bribery, that is, the first being Secretary of State and then the certainty of her victory, which is what motivated them to give in the 2016 election, however fatuous that proved to be, doesn't exist anymore. And her donor base is really annoyed because she deceived them twice into giving large amounts of money and was defeated both times. On the other hand, she certainly has popularity in her base in the country. She has broad name recognition and deep support, and a great deal of interest in having the first woman president. But she now has competitors for that role. Elizabeth Warren, principal among them, Kamala Harris to some extent, and she is not the only woman available. And when you look at her personal negatives, both the scandals, the errors in judgment, the stupidity and things like the email scandal, a lot of voters probably going to say, well, we'd like a woman president, but it doesn't have to be Hillary. It could be Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris. So she doesn't have that unique selling proposition anymore. The Democratic primary is going to be like Wimbledon or Forest Hills, the tennis tournament. It's going to be organized into eighth primaries, quarters, semis, and then the final. The original primary will be a contest in 3 buckets: for the left, for the establishment of the party, and for the black vote. On the left, you're going to find Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren running against each other, most likely. You could have a third candidate come in there, but I think it'll probably be those two. In the establishment box, you'd have Hillary and possibly Joe Biden, and other candidates that might jump in. Andrew Cuomo might be a good example. We'll have to see. And in terms of the black primary, that'll be Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey, against Deval Patrick, the former governor of Massachusetts. And then the winners of those buckets compete in the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then the finals. And that's just the way it's structured. Now, of course, in the early polling, she's going to run first because she's the only one that's very, very well known. But that's deceiving. And as these other candidates begin to go up, she's going to shrink back to size. The big reality for the Democratic Party is that all of their candidates are very, very old. By Election Day 2020, Joe Biden, I think, will be 80. Bernie Sanders will be 80. Joe Biden will be, I think, 78. And I know exactly how old Hillary will be because we're the same age. She'll be 73. So with those very old candidates, there'll be a real demand in the party for younger talent, and that could fuel Warren, the black candidates, and other competitors for those jobs. But as living life expectancy increases, older candidates become more politically acceptable. So I think you probably will see Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden entering this race, again, depending on the actuarial tables. Today's Lunch Alert is sponsored by Money Morning. There's a small gadget, a new technology, that has just been approved by the FCC. And once it's approved, it's now about to enter the manufacturing phase. The Washington Times calls it one of the most important breakthroughs in human history. And it's expected to become a $37 billion industry as the technology and the gadgets involved spread to restaurants, theaters, homes, businesses, even coffee shops throughout the country. So there is a chance that and Money Morning is alerting you to it, to get involved and to get a small stake in this new invention while it's still on the getting off the ground phase before it becomes too big. So watch the video at the end of this and see if you're interested. Thanks for watching.